Hi, almost everyone is watching my channel without a subscription. Please support me and subscribe. I release videos every day for you. Story 1. My ex-husband who cheated on me with my sister emailed me after 6 years. I, 33F, met my ex-husband, Dan, 40F, almost 15 years ago at a restaurant when I was celebrating my 18th birthday. He was really nice, charming, and mature. He made me feel loved and special. For some context, I grew up in a dysfunctional family. My mom and dad used to always fight. My dad would sometimes go out and not come back for months. He died when my sister Abby, 25F, was born. My mom was way too fond of Abby since her birth, rather than me. Abby was basically babied by my mother. She didn't neglect me at all, always did her best as a mother and provided for me, but I always felt some time missing. After Dan came to my life, I didn't feel like there was something missing from me. He supported me, he was caring. He would always buy me gifts and take me out in long drives. I felt complete when I was with him. We got married after dating for 4 years. I wanted to start a family right away, but Dan encouraged me to do my master's and helped me build my career. He wanted us to be in a stable position financially before we start thinking about having kids. Seriously, he was the best guy I could ever ask for. After 5 years of being happily married, I discovered that my husband was cheating on me with Abby. I discovered the affair when my husband made an excuse that he will go out of town for a week, but he stayed in town and he booked a hotel room where he and Abby can have sex. This has been going on for 6 months behind my back. I was really devastated. Abby and I were close growing up. I loved her and cared for her. How could she do this to me? After the D-Day, Dan and I had a fight. I asked how could he do this to me? That too with my sister who just turned 19. He said he didn't love me anymore, that I don't give him enough attention, that I am not the same girl he fell in love with. Between this mess, I discovered that I was pregnant, but due to the stress, I lost the baby. He didn't even care enough to visit me at the hospital when I lost our child. He was having a weekend getaway with my sister. I should have seen the signs. Abby would always be touchy with Dan. Dan would sometimes stare at her. But it is still very disturbing for me. My mother, as usual, took Abby's side and told me to just make peace with it. I wanted to call myself because I had no one left. Lost my child and my husband, my whole family. Then my best friend Tina, my savior, came to my rescue. She was moving to another state and asked me to come with her. I said yes. I was already divorced at that point, and we lived in a small town. So I would obviously run into my ex and my sister. It took me a while to settle into my new life in a different state, but I met some kind people there. It helped me heal some trauma. I still have trust issues. I met my now husband Tony, 32M, after 1 year of moving to the new place. I was really hesitant and kept my guard up, but he showed me that he is trustworthy and loves me a lot. I was so happy with him that I almost forgot about the life I had back in my hometown. His parents were really welcoming and generous people. We got married a year ago. I'm now pregnant with our first child. Yesterday, I got an email from my ex Dan. It just brought back all the bad memories. I am just paraphrasing his email. He mentioned that he misses me. He tried to find me, but couldn't. He is very miserable with my sister. She is very dumb and doesn't care about him like I do. I used to bake him a cake and throw birthdays for him. But Abby only texted him happy birthday and didn't even bother to buy him a cake. Plus, she is very rude. She doesn't respect him. She is always at the bar with her friends. He also mentioned that she has cheated on him 5 times already. The last affair was with his cousin. Our mother also doesn't stop her. He will soon file for a divorce, but lately he has been missing me a lot. He wants us to try again as a couple. He wants us to become a family just like before. Since I do not have social media except for Instagram, which is private, he probably doesn't know that I am married and I have a baby on the way. I don't know if I should feel pity for him or just laugh, because the grass on his side is very brown rather than green. Update: I just wanted to say thanks to all of you who messaged and showed me support. I have decided to send him an email and be done with it. It goes like, Dan, I am sorry to hear that you are suffering, but there is no way I would be with you. Yes, there was a time when I used to be that girl who would have taken you in a heartbeat, but that girl is not there anymore. That girl has died the day I had a miscarriage and you were somewhere shacking up with my sister. I called you, but you never picked it up. I am married to a wonderful man who loves me and cherishes me. I am also pregnant with our first child. I am beginning this new chapter of my life with someone I love and care deeply. So please, do not contact me ever again. You made your choice. You chose my barely legal sister over me. I do not care if she cheats on you or she doesn't respect you. Someone like you don't deserve loyalty and respect anyways. I've left my old life in my old town. It will be best for you to move on and have some self-reflect on yourself. You're just a deeply insecure man who is getting old and thought having a young woman would be good by your side. Goodbye. So please, do not contact me ever again. You made your choice. You chose my barely legal sister over me. I do not care if she cheats on you or she doesn't respect you. Someone like you don't deserve loyalty and respect anyways. I've left my old life in my old town. It will be best for you to move on and have some self-reflect on yourself. You're just a deeply insecure man who is getting old and thought having a young woman would be good by your side. Goodbye. I cannot believe these people. They forgot how they treated me when I needed them, and moreover betrayed me. I cried for a long time because I have been reading your comments, and it seems like me and my sister was groomed by that man. I feel so stupid. I know I shouldn't be mad at my sister, but she was old enough to know it's bad to have an affair with a married man. That too someone who is your sister's husband. I blocked all of them. I am 5 months pregnant already. I don't need more stress. God bless my husband. He comforted me when I cried. Later took me out for ice cream. I hope I can move past this. I cannot believe these people. They forgot how they treated me when I needed them, and moreover betrayed me. I cried for a long time because I have been reading your comments, and it seems like me and my sister was groomed by that man. I feel so stupid. I know I shouldn't be mad at my sister, but she was old enough to know it's bad to have an affair with a married man. That too someone who is your sister's husband. I blocked all of them. I am 5 months pregnant already. I don't need more stress. God bless my husband. He comforted me when I cried. Later took me out for ice cream. I hope I can move past this. Luckily, my husband, Tony, was around. He helped me and put me on the couch. He knows everything about me. I never hid anything from him. I was a little bit scared that my mom and sister would find me. He reassured me that I am hundreds of miles away from them. I mean, we are on the opposite part of our country. He took me out for ice cream to comfort me. It took 2 ice cream cones to finally calm me down low. I told him about my concerns and that my mom and sister might demand to see my baby. It's a girl. He told he would talk to his uncle, who is a police officer, to be on lookout for them. Even if they come here and force themselves on you, he would fight for it. He is going to consult his lawyer friend about this matter, and told me not to worry about my ex. He cannot harm me anymore. My husband even made a joke that he would move countries if he have to. Lastly, someone in my post commented that I should alert the daycare about my mom and sister in case they try to steal my baby. Well, we aren't planning to put her in daycare. Even though I am currently working, I decided I would quit my job and look after my baby and focus on healing from giving birth. I do have a good amount of saving in my personal bank, and this is my own decision. I will go back to work when our little princess is a little bit older. My in-laws are amazing. My NMIL and FIL lives nearby. They are both good people and offered to help with my child. Also, don't worry. Apart from my in-laws, I have a good support system too. Tina and her wife, Jenny, basically adopted me lol. They are really good people and always help me. I don't know what will happen in future, but at least I am surrounded by some good people that I never had growing up. Now, I will take your leave and enjoy my husband pampering me. If something big happens, I will keep you guys updated. And my ex, sister, and mother are all blocked. Story 2. I, 18 meters, hooked up with my straight housemate, 23 meters, and now he's bullying me and I don't know what to do. I'm 18 and I'm a university student in the UK. I live in student accommodation and 8 of us share a flat, 5 girls and 3 boys. I get along with everyone usually. I'm gay, which everyone knows. It's never been an issue at uni before now. One of my housemates, Pete, is 23 meters. We're in the same year at uni, but he didn't start right away after school. We always got along okay, but he's not someone I'd normally be friends with. He's a stereotypical rugby lad from a rich family basically. He's always seemed very straight, and he can be a bit homophobic, but he says it's a joke. A few weekends ago, I went out with most of my housemates, but I didn't get into the club we were going to because the doorman thought I was too drunk. I don't actually think I was that bad and I wasn't blackout or anything, but I decided to just go home. Pete said he'd go with me, which I found strange because he's not normally considerate. When we got back, we stayed up for a bit, and he ended up kissing me and wanting to have sex, which was totally out of the blue as I thought he was straight. It was definitely him that started it, and he was coming on quite strong, but I did fully consent to it, to be clear. I wish I hadn't though because it was a bad experience. I'm not very experienced and I don't usually hook up. I'd rather be in a relationship. I'm also not really attracted to him. I just liked him as a friend. The sex was really bad. He was too rough and at one point it hurt so much I seriously felt like passing out. He didn't hurt me on purpose, he just didn't know what he was doing, and he didn't listen when I told him. It was still bad though, and I regretted it. Right after he said not to tell anyone, which was fine with me. I thought we'd pretend it didn't happen, but since then, he's been really mean to me. He's rude and makes horrible jokes about me and then says he's just messing around. He always did this, but it's 10 times worse now. He also keeps doing really hurtful pranks. For example, we each have a post tray, and he keeps filling mine with leaflets about /inside and STI clinics and things like that, so it looks like I ordered them. I was cooking a frozen meal in the oven and went back to my room, and he took it out of the oven and put it back in right at the end of the cooking time, so when I took it out it was still fully frozen and needed around another 40 minutes. I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but I'm type 1 diabetic and meal times are important. I didn't have anything else to eat and I felt very ill. He sent a video to another housemate of him messing around with my toothbrush and putting it down the back of his jeans like he was rubbing it on his ass. I don't know if he actually did it, and the other housemate told me, but it's still gross. There's other stuff too. He also tried to kiss me again one other time when he was drunk, but I told him to fuck off and I locked myself in my room, and he didn't mention it again. It might sound dramatic, but I don't feel safe in the flat anymore and I dread seeing him because he's always so rude to me. I tried asking him why he's doing this, but he said I was imagining it and I was pathetic, and I needed to get over it. I think he's worried I have feelings for him, but I really don't. I actually wasn't attracted to him even before all this happened, and I'm definitely not now. Other people are starting to notice what he's doing and asking me why, and I don't know what to say. I know he doesn't want me to tell anyone, and I don't want him either. I actually feel quite ashamed that it happened. I don't know if he's being horrible, because he's worried he'll tell, but I really won't. I don't know what to do. Maybe he'll ease off if I give it time, but I don't know. I'm quite miserable in the flat now, but I don't have anywhere else to go. I don't get along with my family and I don't have much money. I don't really want to move out because I was actually happy here before this. I don't feel like I can talk to anyone because they might find out what happened. I tried talking to Pete directly, but it didn't work. What do I do? Update. At first I didn't want to move out, but I got a lot of helpful advice and I realized that I'm miserable and I don't feel safe where I am now, so I would probably be happier if I did move somewhere new. I have been emailing the accommodation managers and it looks like it should be possible. I didn't tell them exactly what happened, but luckily someone else might want to move. I booked an appointment with the Uni Wellbeing Service to talk things over, but that won't be for a while yet. I think it could be helpful because I haven't been doing great since all this happened. I ended up talking to Pete, even though I planned to avoid him. A little while after I made my first post, I got a message from one of my housemates asking what was going on with Pete and asking if something happened between us. I didn't know how to reply to that, so I ended up sending in the message they sent, and I said, I promise I have no intention of telling anyone what happened, but people are noticing you're acting differently with me. You might not care how you're affecting me, but I'm guessing you'd rather avoid these type of questions, so I'm asking you to please just leave me alone. He didn't reply, but later in the evening he was knocking on my door wanting to talk. I told him I didn't want to, but he wouldn't leave me alone and I gave in. He said he knew he was being an ***, but he was confused by what happened because it was the first time he ever did that with a guy, and he was insecure about it. He didn't apologize. I said that I was confused by it too, and it was the first time I ever did that with anyone and I didn't react the way he did, so I didn't think it was an excuse. He got pissed off and he said I just didn't get it. Then he tried to kiss me again, and he was quite angry and aggressive. I kicked him out of my room and told him very clearly that I just want him to leave me alone. I told him I will be polite, but I don't want to be friends or anything like that, and I'm trying to move out as soon as possible. Now I'm back to being shut in my room until I'm able to move. I didn't tell anyone exactly what happened, but my other housemates know I'm trying to move, and that he's being an asshole. He hasn't done anything or said anything to me since our conversation, so I really hope he just leaves me alone now.